Hey, good morning, everybody. Welcome. This is another episode of A Blind Guy, His Wife, Their Life Live. We are here this Sunday morning to do a post-game recap of the Our Marriage Needs
Needs
Help
help.
series. Last week, we had a fantastic gridiron showdown in the game of marriage that featured an all-star lineup, including Anton Daniels, the Kosher Clinician, Dr. Kadisti Y, and Jessica P, all of them bringing perspectives of sharing spouses, the concept of a work wife. Jessica P and Dr. Kadisti Y are two of my former work wives.
Corey, we have to go into the rules of this. I haven't even started the timer. This is only a 15-minute recap. It's a post-game recap. Is that what you call it in
Post
football?
game recap.
Right. So I need to start the timer.
All
All
right.
right. So we have a 5-minute timer here. What does that mean?
5 minutes. That means we have three. We're going to do 3 segments of 5 minutes apiece, and we're going to have some fun. And we'll be reading comments as we go along as we talk about this particular episode, recap the episode from last week. Sharing spouses, the concept of the work wife.
Absolutely. So, of course, right now, what section are we in, Corey?
Right now we're just giving you the post game summary, telling you what the episode was all about, and who the players were. And again, the panelists were a great group of panelists: Anton Daniels, the Kosher Clinician, Dr. Kadisti Y, and Jessica P. Dr. Kadisti Y and Jessica P were two of my former quote unquote work wives.
Now I'm just going to share the screen so you guys can get a visual of who these work wives were. So Dr. Kadisti is right up there in the top right, and at the bottom left we have Jessica P. Those are Corey's two of Corey's former work wives.
There's pretty much a consensus towards by the end of the conversation that what it meant to be a work spouse, but it was a lot of different highlight reels as we answered different questions like, what does it mean to be a work wife? What are the roles of work wives play? What are the pros and cons of being a work spouse? Where do you draw the line as far as your role as a work spouse is concerned? And it goes both ways for men and women, but the emphasis was on the women because because of the two former work wives that were there in this particular live stream. So let's look at some of the highlight reels of some of the conversations.
Dun, dun. Okay, Corey, I was just checking our clock. We're doing good. This 5-minute timer for our first 5 minutes of the 15 minutes. This is a 15-minute show, guys. It's just a recap. It's going well. It looks like we're about a minute and a half in, maybe 2 minutes. I don't know. So you want to hear some of the post-game summary? I mean, their explanation?
Let's go to the highlight reels. First, we had some justified work wives where Dr. Kadisti Y and Jessica P were given their explanations and roles, what type of roles they played as work wives. Let's see what Dr. Kadisti Y had to say.
All right. Let me make sure the volume is up. And let's go for it. Asking from her perspective, right?
Yes, from her perspective in our relationship as friends.
Got it.
Okay, so although we never worked together, we were at school together for a long time. I would say that our relationship was one of support, friendship. So because we had a lot of classes, we were together a lot. If anyone knows the story, I didn't know Corey was like completely blind at all. Like I just, like he handles himself very well. And so and one time he asked me to walk him to class, and then we just started kicking it. We was really cool. We liked the same kind of things. And so we kind of like, if he ever needed to get to class or go somewhere, he would, and Corey has to grab your arm. So we would always be arm in arm. So I think that, and I knew Quita too. So it was cool. Like I love Quita. We were all friends. And so because she wasn't on.
That's good enough, right?
Dr. K.
I wasn't on campus. That's what she was going to say.
Right. So basically what you're hearing is that Kadisti's role felt like her role was that of a friend that offered support.
Yes.
And especially when she got to know you, that she felt like it was, she was there to be, to do some of the things that you would normally do as far as helping me to travel safely to and from different places across the campus.
Yep.
So Jessica P kind of echoed the same sentiments as Dr. K. So let's see what Jessica P had to say.
All right. Should we say good morning to anyone, Corey?
Oh, let's say good morning to our viewers. Definitely.
All right. So we definitely have some viewers out there. Thank you guys for being here this Sunday morning. We've got Hot Chocolate. Good morning to you.
Hot Chocolate. Good morning.
Yes. Real Talk with Ntabi.
Real Talk with Ntabi, all the way in South Africa. Thank you for joining us.
Yeah. She says, I finally made it to Our Marriage Needs Help. Now, keep in mind.
This is a post-game recap. Our next actual panel discussion will be on Sunday, October 10th at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time.
So basically next Sunday, guys. So one Sunday we'll do the series. The next Sunday we'll do the recap. We know everybody's all over the world, different time zones, but this way you can get it in. So she's just saying, hey, and Abby Stalker Mom is here.
Abby Stalker Mom, good morning to you.
Saying good morning, host. Black's Tropical, good morning.
Black's Tropical, thank you for joining us today from Georgia. Abby Stalker Mom down in Jamaica.
Yes, Soil Brothers and Soil Sisters is what Black's Tropical is saying. I was about to say Abby Stalker Mom, but that wasn't quite right. So, all right.
Let's go ahead and hear what Jessica P had to say about her role and how she backed up her teammate, Dr. Kadisti Y, from the actual Work Wives team.
Okay, let me pause this for just a second so that way I can bring it up. And let's see where we are. Recapping Our Marriage Needs Help. This topic, Work Wives. What is a work spouse, Corey? Did you already explain that?
Work spouse is someone that actually the platonic friend of a married man who is there just as a platonic friend in the workplace. They may accompany each other to lunch, or they may provide different things like, if I'm going to get coffee, like for me and Jessica, we would go to the coffee shop in the mornings at work, or for Dr. K, we would go across campus to different meetings. They might provide some sort of support or just friendship, as strictly platonic.
All right, here we are. Let's hear what Jessica K had to say. Jessica P. I'm just making up, folks.
If you need to go somewhere, we're usually arm in arm. You want to go to the coffee shop? I like coffee too. Let's go to the coffee shop. You need to run Dollar General? I need something too. Let's walk to Dollar General. So it was, like she said, more one of support and
the timer.
It was a genuine friendship there. I didn't meet Quita until after I met Corey, so now I feel like a little
side chick.
Yeah. But
I'll pause it right there because Corey, I have gotten off track with the time. I turned the timer back over, and that means we have about one more of these left, not two, because it is 8 minutes in and we're going to the 15-minute mark.
Now,
and you know what? Black Tropical likes this. She says, I love this. Next week, I'll know to be sitting on the porch with a cup of hot tea.
Thanks, Black Tropical. And now the guys had a different perspective on the pros and cons of being a work wife. And the first was Anton Daniels. Anton Daniels, he went hard and deep really quickly right off the bat, throwing the ball deep with his answers and his aerial assault responses. So let's hear what Anton had to say about the fact that men and women could be friends and what his thoughts were on the concept of a work spouse.
Got it. Answer this question.
The guys don't answer this question, but they can actually have a response to what they said. So we'll get the guys.
I'm wondering, can you really see though? Because you just picked the most beautiful women, and so I'm just wondering, maybe.
So wait a minute, that was Anton calling you
Anton,
out.
He threw one the review of a play because he's saying that is Corey really blind because Jessica P and Dr. Kadisti,
lovely ladies.
But he came back after the play was reviewed, and he went deep on his first answer. So let's see what he has to say.
All right, so let's go to there because there's a debate, just so you all know. Can Corey see? No, Corey is blind. I'm his wife. We have a life. So let's hear where Anton went in.
Being out here in the relationship, working and doing business. What do you think about what these ladies have said, Anton?
I think the role of a work spouse is to be emotionally connected to a guy, which in my opinion it leads to, in most instances, maybe not in your specific instances because of your unique situation, but I think often at times it puts women in a position to be emotionally connected to a guy that they probably wouldn't otherwise be emotionally connected to in most situations. I think there's always an avenue and a tunnel and a crack in the armor to ultimately lead to something that will probably drive a woman to explore her options, and often at times it fills a void for something that she may be lacking at home.
So Anton went deep with his response, and he was backed up by the Kosher Clinician, who actually had some similar sentiments to Anton.
All right, so these are just the highlight reels, guys. So just so that you know, if you're just joining in, we are on the highlight reel section of our Marriage Needs Help from the last episode. The last episode, which was
Should you stay or should you leave? And
Should You Stay or Should You Leave?
Yeah, when do you throw in the towel as far as divorce? Is divorce ever a good option?
No, work spouses.
Oh, you talking about last week? I'm sorry, last week's
We're
topic.
recapping
last week. I thought you meant the previous last week. Last week's
Man.
episode was about the sharing spouses, the concept of a work wife.
I'm just trying to catch the people up if they're just coming in. And
right.
you all on the first episode.
I went way back.
Yes. So, okay. So right now we're going to head over to what the Kosher Clinician had to say. Another professional, and I don't know. Let's see what he's got. This way we can kind of get everybody's perspective. And, we did have the clock that we had to pull out a few times on people. We have what we call a courtesy clock. We're supposed to always pull it out. Didn't always happen.
There's a little cheating going on for the women. The women didn't get the clock and the men did.
Okay, I was controlling the clock. True. Am I biased? Perhaps, but that's not what this is all about right now. I'm just going to pull up Kosher Clinician's portion. So let's see where we are here with the highlight reel.
Definition of a work spouse is how that works in a relationship.
Well, listen, in clinical therapy, you can't lie. And I tend to concur with Anton. Needs drive behaviors. And so, when a woman is not getting her needs met, she's placed in the uncanny predicament where she could be tempted to commit infidelity. And I'm gonna be honest, I'm like Fleet, that guy named Fleet in the prison. I see you and I want you. And so, I'm gonna get a sack. So if I find a woman that I like and she's attractive, I'm gonna put myself in a position where I'm gonna make her vulnerable.
And the cool thing about Kosher Clinician is he was bringing it from a clinical standpoint. He's a licensed counselor. He does bring a lot of different perspectives in, and so it was cool to actually hear him come from that clinical perspective. So,
all right, the last of this sand, and we are in the final 2 minutes.
All right. So with that being said, and the players of the game, they all were players of the game, but from the consensus of what was going on in the comments and the way he was answering the questions during the game last week, Anton Daniels was definitely the MVP. I mean, Anton shot straight from the hip. He had pulled no punches, and he didn't mind giving an answer that was deep and thoughtful. So Anton Daniels, MVP, congratulations for being the MVP of the Our Marriage Needs Help series episode of the sharing spouses concept of work wife episode of the Our Marriage Needs Help series.
So do we want to finish up with his portion?
Yeah, we can show his final portion.
All right, let's see if I have it queued up properly, and we'll see what happens here. All right, let me play it. At Anton.
I don't believe in a such thing, or I don't believe that you can really be friends with the opposite sex. I think that in most situations, I don't see any pros, long story short, with having a work spouse. I mean, outside of given a unique situation, I think overwhelmingly what you'll find is that by default, men that are friends with women are not friends voluntarily. They're put in the friend zone involuntarily, waiting for an opportunity to find a way into that little spot so that they can capitalize off of it, because men largely are apex predators. We're hunters, and
all right, that's all you get.
Yeah,
you got to go watch the whole episode if you want to watch more. I'll make sure it's linked in the description. And closing out, Black Tropical is saying Anton is amazing. Love how we break it all the way down. Thanks, guys. This has been
another episode of The Blind Guy, His Wife, Their Life Live with the Our Marriage Needs Help series. Join us Wednesday, Thursdays, and Fridays at 11:15 a.m. Eastern Standard Time for our Blind Guy, His Wife, Their Life weekly live broadcast.
And this particular series every other Sunday, 8 p.m.
7 p.m.
Eastern Standard Time. All right, guys, we'll see you soon. How do we sign out, Corey?
We sign out by saying deuces.
Oh, yeah. We do say that?
Yes, we do.
I thought we say a sports thing.
Okay, well, we could say touchdown.
Touchdown.
All right.
That's true, Black Tropical. Thanks for that sentiment. We got a fan commentary. Yes, at least he doesn't leave you hanging, wondering why he feels that way, why he feels the way he feels. He gets very deep, and it all makes total sense. Nice.
Right. Kudos to Anton.
Yes, thanks, Hot Chocolate, for being here. Thanks again, guys. And we sign off by saying
Touchdown.